Less than a year ago, this creek bed was in flood. But after a couple of wet years, there's been little rain recorded on Frank Deshan's property near Hebel in southwest Queensland.
The river ran for 2 years constantly. The floodplain's all replenished, but old Mother Nature, she's got a way of levelling up again.
Frank is a third-generation farmer. He grows both irrigated and non-irrigated crops, and also runs cattle. This year, it was too dry to plant a winter crop, so he's using the water he has left to prepare for the forecast dry weather ahead.
So we've decided to utilise some water for irrigated barley. So that'll replenish our barley supplies, and the other good benefit will be we'll bale all the straw, so that'll fill up an empty shed we've got then too.
Water can significantly increase the value of a farm and its output, but it's equally valuable to the social fabric of surrounding communities.
Water down the river is such a valuable resource, you know, and that keeps our schools going, operating, it keeps the doctors here, you know, it keeps the hospitals going, you know.
In an effort to restore water to the Murray-Darling River system, licences for tens of thousands of megalitres have been bought back from farmers in this northern basin region. But the removal of that water has only further squeezed the already waning population of nearby Hebel.
There was probably 30% wiped out off many businesses, you know.
After the pub and the shop closed, Frank stepped in and bought them, along with the caravan park and the butcher shop. You own the town at the moment.
All apart from the church.
Yeah.
I don't hold any irrigator accountable for selling their assets. Where I think it's wrong is the federal government issued these licences in the first place. Now, businesses were set up to support those licences in these communities. That's where I believe the government has a moral responsibility to inject some funds into these communities to offset the economic value that has been taken away.
But sustaining an economically important irrigation industry and a healthy river is a challenge. For the traditional owners, the Ualii people, that balance is even more complicated.
Mum's family were here when they were felling all the trees, and they knew that probably wasn't the best thing for the environment back then, but they still did it. I'm also aware of, as a business person, how many people the farms actually employ, and those are the sorts of things that keep us going as a business. So I'm a little bit torn.
Another 100 kilometres up the river is the E.J. Beardmore Dam. It was built in 1972 and supplies irrigators and water to the nearby town of St George. Gomeroi elder Ron Waters remembers the construction. He helped build the adjacent causeway.
That was my first job when we left school. We were on a big cement mixer just up here. We're not against economic development. We helped them clear the land. It was economic development for a lot of work for Aboriginal people.
What are your thoughts, Sam, on the irrigation industry? Can you coexist?
Well, they got to make a living, but cut back on their allocations and opening more country up that you can make a good living without all trying to outdo each other.
In 2018, the federal government committed $40 million to help First Nations communities invest in water for cultural and economic activities. But so far, no water has been bought.
But at the end of the day, when all the development stopped, they forgot all about us. Never gave us a seat at the table anymore. This is our life, our bloodline, you know, and it links us all together.